Hello, good morning, all of you. Today we will start with the SN1 reaction and mechanism. Now, here in this SN1 reaction mechanism, it is substitution nucleophilic unimolecular, and here we want to consider the hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide, tertiary butyl bromide in the aqueous NaOH. Here, this OH minus acts as a nucleophile, the substrate molecule, and the product obtained is tertiary butyl alcohol, or it is tertiary butanol, and the leaving group, that is Br minus, has been left or given out. So the Br minus is the leaving group and OH minus is the nucleophile. So again we are going to follow the same steps that we have studied in SN2 reaction, that is the kinetics of this reaction. And so the kinetic study of this reaction shows that the rate of the reaction is directly proportional. The rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of substrate only. The concentration of substrate only. And so rate is equal to K1 into concentration of the substrate, where it indicates that it is a first order reaction. It's a first order kinetics. And so, as it is a first order reaction, it proceeds in two steps. First step is the slow step, that is the tertiary butyl bromide. Here in this first step, here the CBr bond cleaves first. The CBr bond cleaves first and gives you the formation of an intermediate, that is the slow step, and this, so it is called as your rate determining step. And here we get the formation of a intermediate, that is carbocation, because the nucleophile is not involved in this step. And so here the transition state which is obtained, as the transition state is obtained, the second step is fast, and so the nucleophile OH minus can either attack from both the sides, that is from the front side, or it can attack from the back side of the carbocation. And so here if you again see the change in hybridization, the change in geometry, the hybridization changes from sp3 to sp2. Here the geometry becomes planar. And again when the nucleophile attacks, here you get the product, and here you get the two types of products because both the sides of attack is possible. Here you will get the product with inversion in configuration, and you can also get the product with inversion in, retention in configuration. Inversion in configuration and retention in configuration means this obtains as a overall racemic mixture. And so it is considered that the reaction proceeds with 100% racemization, means you get the both the enantiomers in an equal proportion in the reaction. And so here the attack of nucleophile is taking place in the second step, but here in the first step only the substrate is involved. So the CBr bond breaking takes place and the COH bond formation takes place in this after second step or in the second step. So from where does it get energy to break this CBr bond? Because in SN2 we have studied that as the partial bond formation of the nucleophile starts, the energy is being released and this energy is utilized for the CBr bond breaking. But here, from where does this CBr bond breaking gets the energy? And so here the energy is supplied by the solvent. And so here the solvent plays an important role in this. So because as the solvent starts solvating this substrate molecule, it also solvates the Br, and the bond is being getting polarized, and as the carbocation is being stabilized, the formation of carbocation takes place by breaking the CBr bond, and so here we get the SN1 mechanism. Why it is called as SN1? Because substitution nucleophilic unimolecular means in the rate determining step only one molecule is involved, and that is your CH3 thrice CBr, that is the tertiary butyl bromide. And so at last here this was the proposed mechanism. Then what is the energy profile diagram? So here in the energy profile diagram of this reaction, we get the two types of transition states. Again here the graph of the reaction coordinate, the graph of reaction coordinate versus the energy change taking place in this reaction is being studied. So when the tertiary butyl bromide, that is CBr, here it undergoes ionization, and as so in this it needs the energy, ionization of the reactant is taking place, and here you get the formation of carbocation. The geometry changes from sp3 to sp2, and this transition state, once it is obtained, as the carbocation is formed, it becomes stable, and as the OH starts attacking from both the sides, again the energy increases slightly, and the product which is formed is obtained. Means here at this step the attack of OH is, that is the nucleophile, is taking place, and then you get the product with 50% retention and 50% inversion. 50% retention and 50% inversion, that is the racemic mixture is being obtained. And so whether we get 100% racemic mixture means 50% from front side attack and 50% back side attack. So that is nothing but the part of stereochemistry. Means here the stereochemistry, whatever we are studying, that it's giving you the equal configurations, and so the equal ratio of the product obtained having two different configurations, which is being cancelled. And then while studying the stereochemistry of the reaction, so the stereochemistry of SN1 reaction. Now here, what is the main thing that we are supposed to learn now? We studied that we get a racemic mixture, that is 50% inversion and 50% racemic mixture. 50% inversion and 50% retention. But here, the 100% racemization, that whatever I said, 50% retention and 50% inversion, is rarely observed. Means we never get 50% retention and 50% inversion in any SN1 reactions. So in the most of the SN1 reactions, varying degrees of inversions are obtained. And so the example was being studied that the 1-phenyl ethyl chloride, 1-phenyl ethyl chloride. So here this is your 1-phenyl ethyl chloride with the configuration R reacts slowly in the first step, forms the carbocation, and this carbocation, once obtained, which is stable, is being attacked by the OH minus, that is the nucleophile from the front side and the nucleophile from the back side. And so this carbocation, which is planar in nature, gives you both the different types of products, that is with retention in configuration and inversion in configuration. So here if you get the product with retention in configuration, and here you get the product with inversion in configuration. So the two products are obtained, but the ratio of the S, sorry, R1 phenyl ethanol and S1 phenyl ethanol is varying. The retention obtained is just 25% and the inversion obtained is 75%. The inversion is 75% and retention is 25%. Means 100% racemic mixture is not obtained in any SN1 reaction. Rarely it is seen. So why this thing happens? So to let us know that why you are not getting 100% racemic mixture. That means 50% inversion and 50% retention. Here we are getting a different thing, a varying degree of inversion and retention, that is 25% retention and 75% inversion. So 75% inversion indicates that the backside attack is favorable, and 25% retention indicates that it is a front side attack. And so these two things are best explained by the factors, that is the stability of stability of carbocation and the nucleophilicity of the solvent. Nucleophilicity of the solvent means the solvent also plays an important role in this reaction, as it has played an important role in breaking the C Br bond or the C leaving group bond. And again, here it is going to play an important role in deciding whether you are going to get retention. Now, okay, no doubt, when you are getting 75% inversion and 25% retention, once a retained product is obtained, this cancels the configuration of the inversion product. And so, overall, in any SN1 reaction, you are going to get a racemic mixture. So, this excess of this 25% inversion product is being, this configuration of this is being cancelled by the 25% retained product, and so the overall reaction gives a racemic mixture. So in this way, so this is all regarding your stereochemistry of SN1 reaction. But still, when we want to study the in details that how the stability of carbocation and nucleophilicity of the solvent is going to affect the stereochemistry of SN2 reaction. So, if the stability of carbocation, the first part that we want to study, if the carbocation is more stable, because here it is tertiary here the phenyl group and here the methyl group is there. If the carbocation means, here we will get the two types of carbocations, or we will get different types of carbocation. If the carbocation is extremely stable, it will be, it will exist in the solution for a longer time. It will exist in the solution for a longer time, and the living group which has left, it will go away from the vicinity of the carbocation. It will go away from the vicinity of carbocation, and then you can get retention, inversion in configuration. Then you can get inversion in configuration. Sorry, when the living group will go away from the carbocation and the OH can attack from the front side, here you will get maximum retention. Means if the carbocation is extremely stable, you will get retention in configuration. But if it is poorly stable, then it will immediately try to react with the nucleophile, and the backside attack will be favorable and it will get converted into a product to obtain the stability. So the depending upon the stability of the carbocation, we can decide whether you will get 100% racemization or you will get maximum retention or maximum inversion. Overall, in SN1 reaction, you are going to get a racemic mixture, but the stability of carbocation indicates that if it is more stable, it will favor the front side attack, and if it is less stable or it is poorly stable, it is less stable or poorly stable, the backside attack of the nucleophile is possible, and so you will get more inversion when poorly stable, and extremely stable will lead into retention of the product. Then the next part, that is the nucleophilicity of the solvent. So if we consider that this RBr, that is the basically a alkyl halide molecule which is polar in nature, when it comes in contact with the solvent, that is RBr, it is being surrounded by the solvent, and so when it is surrounded by the solvent, it obtains the intimate ion pair. Intimate ion pair. It forms an intimate ion pair, means as it is surrounded by the solvent. And as this solvent surrounds this substrate molecule, then it starts breaking the CBr bond, and the solvent separates these two ions, and these two ions which are being separated, so it is solvent separated ion pair. So depending upon the nature of the solvent, whether it will, which step will be obtained in the reaction, that cannot be said. So at last it will form the two ions, that is the, this is the totally separated ion, completely separated ions. So which ratio is obtained more in the solution, whether you are getting a separated ions, if you get separated ions, then the attack of the nucleophile from both the sides may be equal. But if it is solvent separated ion pair, or if it is intimate ion pair, then the backside attack is favorable. And so depending means this stereochemistry of SN1 reaction is mostly governed by these two factors, that is the stability of carbocation and nucleophilicity of the solvent. And so in this way we complete your both the mechanisms, that is the SN1 mechanism and SN2 mechanism. Now in the next lecture we will just see that when we say that the carbocation is extremely stable or it is less stable, how it changes the configuration of the product. And so the stability of carbocation can be studied by using these four different factors, that is the inductive effect, resonance effect, hyperconjugations are the factors which decides the stability of the carbocation. And so depending on this, how the stability is studied, that we will study in the next lecture. Okay, thank you very much.